variables are going to be important and you're going to be using them a lot as you create programs throughout this course. A variable is generally used to keep track of information when it comes to programming in JavaScript. Let's take a look at a popular game on the web called Browser Quest. Browser Quest is a popular game created on the web using just JavaScript. If you ever get the chance, check it out, it's pretty cool. But enough about that, let's get to the point. As we play the game, we can see that things such as our health, score, lives, and damage. Our health, for example, is a variable that changes depending on what happens in the game. Our score, or our lives, is another example of a variable. The main point I'm trying to make is that a variable is something that represents a certain value in our game and is always constantly changing. Here is an example of the basic syntax we use for creating a variable in JavaScript. Here we can see that our first keyword, called var, is short for variable. The next word is going to be the name of your variable, which can be whatever you like. Next, we have an equal sign and a number. What this statement is saying is variable lives equals 3. When we are creating a variable and giving it a name, we are assigning a value to that variable. Now, let's do a more hands-on approach, and let's create another example of a variable we might use in a program. Let's use a variable and add it to our document.write command. So I'm going to write a basic command here, which is going to be our document.write command, and I'm going to add a string in this command. So let's type in the following. So now that we have our document.write command here, let's add a variable to this program, and let's do a more hands-on approach. So I'm going to type in var, and the name of my variable is going to be example. And inside the brackets in the quotation marks of example, we're going to give it the value of I am a variable. What this basically says is that example equals I am a variable. So if we ever insert the keyword example, then the text I am a variable will be outputted to the file. Basically, our variable is just representing something. And in this case, example is representing the string that we declared earlier. So if we save this and then run our program, we can see that the value of example will be outputted to the document with our document.write command. The cool thing about variables is that we can change them as much as we like in our programs. Let's go back and change our variable to do something else. Since we already declared our variable example, we can omit the var part of this variable and just type example equals whatever we like it to be. Now, because JavaScript reads our commands from top to bottom, we need to make sure that if we are going to change a variable, we need to insert it after our document.write command here. So we're going to grab this piece of code here, copy it, then after the document.write command, we're going to paste it. So what we're doing here is we're declaring our example variable as a certain string, writing it to the document, then after that gets written, we're giving it a different value and then writing that new value to the document. The part up here is going to run first, and then the part on the bottom is going to run right after it. So let's save this and see what happens when we run the program. There we go. We can see that our variable changes throughout our program and has two different values that are outputted to the document. This is the power of variables, and you will learn why this is important as you work more with JavaScript. In the next video, we're going to be talking more about syntax and naming your variables because there's a few rules that we need to follow.